Hi, it's Robert from the Bobsphere, and today I'll be doing a video which I've been really hesitant about. The thing is, there have been a lot of other authors and booktubers who have done a much better job, but people did ask me, and I said I'll go for it. Today's video is about black authors. Now, again, like I said, this is it has been done better. But anyway, this is my take, and I'm continuously educating myself on the matter. So this is not just a one-off thing. I've been reading books by authors of color for a very long time. So it's been gradual, but I still know that I have to learn much more. But at the moment, this is what I've got. I focused on African Americans and Jamaicans. There are much more. The thing is, if I went through all my shelves, this would be a 50-minute video. So I had to be a bit vigilant. There are a couple of Africans as well. I think that's it. We can start. So let's start. We Need New Names by Noviolet Bulawayo. This is a really good one about immigration. First it's about life in Africa and then life in America. And it's culture clashes. It's has a very unique voice. And it's quite funny at times as well. My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite. Oh yeah, I also included British as well. I have to say that. Okay. Oyinkan Braithwaite, and pardon my pronunciation. This is really good. This is about these twin sisters, and one sister murders people. But the thing is, this goes, it's about the African myth of the twin. So when one does something bad, it reflects on the other twin, because they're more or less the same people. So how does her sister react when her other sister is always killing people? And it's quite, on the surface it seems like a very breezy read, but the more you think about it, it's quite deep. Colson Whitehead, the recent winner of this year's Pulitzer Prize. It's the book, I should say. He's run it twice now. So this is the Nickel Boys, Colson Whitehead. Really good. It's about a black man who is falsely accused of a crime, and he has to spend time in prison. This is brutal, but it's beautifully written. This book, I think, is super important. Super important. Heads of the Colored People by Nafissa, Thompson-Spires. This is about black people living in America. It's a contemporary snapshot. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's tragic. These are short stories. I think this is essential reading. Do read this. It is absolutely brilliant. Homegoing. This is one I liked as well, by Yaa Gyasi. It's about different generations of slaves in Africa and America. It's really cleverly done. This is a recent one. I've been talking a lot about this, but it has to be mentioned. This is The Mermaid of Black Conch by Monique Roffey. And it's so good. So good. I can't commend this more. It's about a fisherman who finds a mermaid and leads to a lot of adventures. Brilliant. Yeah, this is a more surreal one. It's The Changeling by Victor LaValle. And this one is about a bookseller whose baby is missing. And then his wife goes missing. And it leads to a very surreal journey. There's more Sendak in it, a more Sendak book. It's just brilliant. It's horror too at times. Sometimes it's adventure, and the writing is knock you dead. It's another one I really, really liked. This is Jesmyn Ward, Sing Unburied Sing. This is, again, a portrait of the contemporary black family. So this, well, there's much more to it than that. It's quite surreal. There are ghosts. There's visions. Oh wow! It's about a woman who's in a semi-abusive relationship, and she goes on a sort of road trip, and it gets really surreal. This one, Chinelo Okparanta, Under the Udala Tree. This one is just at the end of the Biafran War, where a woman discovers her sexuality. It's a very powerful novel. Marlon James Booker winner, A Brief History of 7 Killings. This is about the attempted assassination of Bob Marley. It's told through many different viewpoints, and it also is about the drug culture in Jamaica and the gangster culture in Jamaica. It's really good. Not an easy read. You have to really concentrate for it, but it's an extremely rewarding one. Small Island by Andrea Levy. Oh, amazing book. Amazing book. It's about a black person who moves into, I wouldn't say a flat, a house, and it's rented by a white woman. And it talks about culture clashes, but then it gets deeper and deeper. Essential reading. One of my favorite Women's Prize winners. It's another one, White Teeth by Zadie Smith, about a family, mixed race marriage. I think, if I have one criticism of it, I think it's overlong. But I still, it is a great book. It's a great book, and it will change your mind. And it gives another version of London that's not really written about. The Good Lord Bird by James McBride. So, this is a slave narrative. Well, it goes beyond that, and it's fantastic. Fantastic. Again, it has a very idiosyncratic writing style. Now, The Mothers by Brit Bennett. Her second, I was about to say her second album. Her second book has been published. Was published last week, called The Vanishing Half. This is her first novel, The Mothers, and it's about being a black person and going through an abortion. It's very topical. It's a very melodramatic book, but it will affect you in some way or another. In fact, if you look at the cover, it's a face. Anyway, good reading. I really, really want to read her second book. Have you read it out there? Any views? And last, I think this is going to be a modern classic. This is Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. 12 Women, or Womexen, I think it's pronounced. So that includes the transgender ones. So it's got all types of color, race, gender, explores it all. The structure of the book is brilliant. All the narratives mix and match. Oh, this is an amazing, amazing book. And I think it's a good high point. Now, as I said, this is not just a phase. I keep on reading, and now what's happening is, because I saw an interview with Ricochet and Bernardine Evaristo, is that more black authors are being accepted into mainstream publishing, which is very good. The more we read, the more this happens, and we discover new authors. It's really good. Okay, and I left out a lot, and obviously, and as I said now a third time, there have been better lists. This is one I came up with. Okay, have you read these books? Would you like to read them? Any suggestions? I know I left out a lot. Thank you. See you next week.